before we get started, any idea what's technical writing? So technical writing is any kind of writing that deals with explaining about like how a particular process or a gadget works. For example, you have user manual, you have frequently asked questions, then you have instruction guides, right? So this is what technical writing is. So here let's read. Technical writing is the writing for instruction manuals. So whenever, like say, for example, you buy a phone, for the phone, how to use it and how to get started and all of that, you have this instruction manual that comes with it, right? So the instruction manual, the journal article, and any document that defines the feature, usage of any gadget or technology. So if you get any document along with any gadget or for example a TV, a microwave, a refrigerator, an AC, or for that matter, let us say even if you have to install software, maybe you get like a list of instructions as to how to do it. So all that material would be considered as technical writing. Okay, so in a simpler language that is easily understood by readers at large. Simpler language, meaning that the person who's going to be using the gadget is not going to be, or let us say even a toy for that matter. Even better example, if I give you, it would be like a Kinder Joy toy. For the Kinder Joy toy, you get like a small little instruction manual, correct? And that instruction manual is written keeping in mind kids who can't even read. So there are pictures, how to use it, step-by-step instructions. So ultimately, they should have like a complete finished look, right? So yeah. So it includes writing for training materials, user manual, product features. So there are two types of audiences you would be dealing with, and you would be dealing with it separately. One is for the people who are already within the organization or within the industry. That is like, say, for example, if you're working on building a mobile phone. So if you're working on building this mobile phone, you have to maintain all the steps, like whatever was involved. So tomorrow, if there are any other people or any other team who's going to be working on its upgrade or who want like some quick insights about the whole product, so you would have documented. Okay, so that is called as software or product documentation. That is also technical writing. So when you're writing software or product documentation or quick reference guides, you call them, so then you are not trying to write it in a simpler language. You're writing it like using the insider words or jargons and terminologies, because people are from the industry, people exactly know what you're talking about. But when you are dealing with a layman who would not know even something as simple as maybe adapter, so it has to be written in a simple language. You can't really write adapter in a simpler language. So which is why you have like all the what do you say, images or illustrations of each and every part or component of that particular product on the very first page, and then you would go ahead and try to explain it in a simplified manner, correct? Okay, so what do you think are the necessary skills for a technical writer? Now that you know what technical writing is, what do you think are the necessary skills? In-depth
Some
product
background.
knowledge, that's essential, yes. Then
Yes.
also, so the most important thing is you have to, maybe it's not mentioned here in the PPTs, but then yeah, this tool DITA, it's called DITA, okay? So if at all you want to delve into the field of technical writing, this DITA tool is really essential. So what happens in this tool? So basically it is very easy to write down the instruction and manuals by incorporating the illustrations and the flow charts, or for the whole format of the instruction manuals and all the kind of writings that come under technical writing. DITA is the tool. So even if you are, going to be checking out the job descriptions of a technical writer, in-depth product knowledge, all of that they would train you on any which ways. They would brief you about their product and all of that. So you don't necessarily have to have a good experience in terms of that particular industry, but what they would require is for you to have some understanding in of the data tool. So if anyone is like contemplating to delve into this field, so try getting some knowledge into data. Okay, then yeah, what other skills do you think? Communication skills, that's as usual. Communication, then explain things properly, in-depth product knowledge. You need to know who your readers are. Like I gave you an example a little while ago about the Kinder Joy, correct? So it is written with so much of color and very specific to a kid who can't even read, right? So when you're writing your instruction manual, also you have to keep in mind the audience you are going to be dealing with, or the audience you are catering to. Okay, so the writing process, yes. Who are my readers? What do they need? Where will they be reading? When will they be reading? Why will they be reading? And how will they be reading? Okay. So yeah, the user experience, okay. Conduct thorough research about the particular topic. Incorporate, like the example I just gave you is like IKEA. They have images as well. They have graphics, illustrations in their user manual. Also, have you guys noticed, like sometimes what happens, we want to use, let's say we buy like a new mixer, okay? It's a mixer come juicer and stuff. So let us say we want to use it, and sometimes we don't really want to look and dig for the instruction manual. What do? We directly go to YouTube. How do I use so and so, correct? So it is also imperative that a company has their own YouTube channel just to show how to make things work. Any which ways, even if the company does not have, there would be so many different influencers who would be incorporating or creating a video as to how to use it and stuff like that. But yeah, to make sure that they are again reaching out to their customers at different places where customers are looking out for the app information, they are making sure that they are there. So how to use it, or how do I make juice with this? How do I whatever? Depends on what you're going to be asking. So that particular product name, the model number, and how to use, right? So that those videos are also generally uploaded by the brand itself. Active voice, not passive. Okay, here you see. So we ought to write in active voice and not passive. Anyway, so next is here, let's see, avoid excessive jargons. Okay, so yeah, so let's clear. PWAs are truly considered the future of multi-platform development. Here, PWAs, progressive web applications, correct? So are truly the future of multi-platform development, so and so. So the first time that you're using an abbreviation, you give the abbreviated version, and then after that, after which you can use the short form. Not necessary every time you use PWAs, you have to give the full form here. You just need to do it the very first time that you're going to be using it. Clear? So whenever you're going to be using an abbreviation, only the first time you need to give the abbreviated version. So henceforth, after that, you would only use the acronym. Cool? Okay. Yeah, so this you can make a note of actually. Publish your articles. These are some different websites wherein you can go and check out some technical articles and stuff that have been put up here. So this is dev.to. It's a community of thousands of techies where both writers and readers get meaningfully engaged and share ideas and resources. Hash node. This is again another one. It's my go-to blogging platform with awesome perks such as custom domain mapping and interactive community. Are you guys making a note of it? Maybe you can check it out later. So it's dev.to hashnode, then free code camp. So here, maybe if you're into technical writing, or if you want to write about something, or if you want to, for that matter, let us say you want to get insights on something, so you can actually check out these different websites. Free code camp, hacker noon. So this is where over 7,000 writers could be a great platform for you to start publishing your articles to over 2 lakh daily readers in the community. Okay. See, I'll tell you why it wouldn't be paid for. First of all, uh, it's more like even you're getting publicity, right? And it's more like even they are getting good content on their site. So maybe it would be a quality check, but it would not be a paid one. So it is a win-win situation. So you get the platform to reach out to a large number of people, and I am giving you this platform because I want content to be written for free for me, right? So it's like a win-win situation. Okay, so you maybe can take a screenshot of this. These are like some technical writers to follow and who give you some good insights. Structure, yeah, you technically have like, if it is a hard copy, let's say if it is a book of and for the phone, um, it's more like the instruction manual that I was, checking out the other day. For the Apple phone, it is like they're telling you to do this, check out the website to do this. So it's more like they want to minimize the use of paper, correct? Because of sustainability and all of that. So they want to minimize the use of paper, and they want to make sure that you are still having access to whatever information you are looking for, but digitally. So it's more like they're trying to shift now from the paper version to the online version and put it all up dedicated pages for each particular product or for each particular model, maybe, right? But technically most of the models, it would have the same kind of info that you would need in order to get started, or how to go about it and stuff. So yeah, so you have it like or also some of the instruction manuals, there would be like a QR code. So you scan the QR code and then you are taken to the designated page for that particular model in order to see how to get started, how to use it and all that, right? Okay, so that's about it. Okay, right. So the structure, you have the front page, you would have the title page, the company name, the version, the copyright details, all of that. Then the table of contents, so basically what is going to be covered. Then safety and regulatory notices would be there. For example, such a basic example for me to give you would be don't expose your phone to direct sunlight, right? So they ought to be there. Maybe very rare cases that, people might actually, their phone might explode or whatever, but they want to be on the safer side. So the safety and the regulatory notices should be there for every single product. Okay, so the body text, special notices, whatever. Troubleshooting. Okay, so flows chart of troubleshooting solution. So for example, when you get stuck, okay, how to get out of it. Like say, for example, if there is 4110 error that pops up in the washing machine, how do I deal with it, right? So this is a problem. So maybe it would be like you need to switch it off and you need to start all over again and fix the problem. That's about it, right? So whatever small issues, like for Pauline just mentioned, sometimes when they were dealing with hospitals, because she was into the insurance field, and the troubleshooting problems before, when people reach out to them and ask them how to do it or whatever. So she said whenever there is a change in the UX or the interface of the website, they used to send them an email before even the complaints would start shooting in, right? So the troubleshooting section for them, it used to be like whenever there is an update, send them the details or the updates, before when they ask for it, right? So it should be there available. So yeah, index, number of pages, figures, etc.
Hello all, welcome. Now let's understand what is a user manual. Guys, user manual you would have seen a lot. Any electronic item that you buy or any technical stuff that you buy, whether for household like washing machines, mobile phone, laptops, you always find a small guide inside that just guides you how to operate this and how this particular product works. Okay, so that is user manual. Manual for the user, the one who is using that particular product. So how exactly do you create it? So user manual, first of all, it's a formal piece of writing, and this comes in technical writing. It has a very specific structure, and it should be written by someone who is, of course, familiar with that product as a technical writer or the product designer. So, somebody who has designed that product, either that person would know the technical aspect of it, or somebody who is absolutely familiar with that product. So, somewhat, guys, you can say, of course, if you're really not familiar technically with that product, let's suppose a mobile phone. Okay, what is the camera quality? How much is the memory? If you're talking about laptop, what is the RAM? And especially when you're working as a technical writer, you must know the differences between all the laptops, right? That is how you will be able to write about it. Okay. So somewhere, yes, a technical knowledge is required. So I'm not saying that you need to be absolutely a tech expert, but if you really think that you can just research about this and you can write after that, there is no problem with it. But majority of cases, whenever you are becoming a technical writer and you are writing that is the only time when you can write a user manual. Okay, so you know exactly what are the technical parts of it. Otherwise, how would you be able to mention them in your writing? Now, a lot of time, generally somebody who is not a technical writer as well, that person can also write a user manual with the help of somebody who knows this product, with the help of the person who is a product designer or an SME, the subject matter expert. So what are the steps to follow? You need to define your audience, whether it's an expert class or whether you're writing it for normal people. Generally, user manuals are written for general public. Okay, describe the problem, break it down, stick to the topic. Okay, describe the problem is not just, don't take it like there is any problem. It's just that you need to describe that whole product and every part of it, and then break it down, and then in a very simple language. So majorly technical writing is about that, all the technical words and all the technical aspect of it, you need to break it down in a simple language so that somebody who is not technical can understand. Okay, for this, majorly you use photos, because somebody who is not able to understand a particular word, but that person may know that part of the device. Okay, so if that person will look at the picture, that is how that person will be able to comprehend. So use the pictures, and then you can definitely write the captions of those pictures so that somebody who is not technically sound as well may be able to understand. Passive voice, it's not only in user manuals or in technical writing. In content writing only, you should not use passive voice. Avoid using the first person. First person as in, I am telling you. You are always talking on behalf of the brand. So don't talk like I is first person. You never write user manuals with I. You always talk with the brand, we. Okay, use a template, minimize background info, and be simple. I will just show you one of the examples of user manual. If you can see this, okay, so it's a simple introduction is given. It's a media drive of HP and how to handle it. In the bullet points, it is being written with an image. It is not one of the great examples, but yeah, this is the one that I could find. So you can see it's a simple, formally written document which is describing this particular device. Okay. If you really want to know that you need to be technically sound with this, yes, somewhere you need to be familiar with the product. Otherwise, how would you write about it? Okay, and rest of the templates and rest of what is it that you need to mention, it just differs from product to product. If you're writing about laptop, then of course the description is going to be different. For mobile phones, the description is going to be different. A very best way is that you can always see the user manuals in front of you, like if you might have any box of the mobile phone that you would have bought in the past, or as any electronic apparatus, or like I've bought this mixer grinder, in that as well you will find the user manuals. Just study that a little bit and you will understand how to write a user manual.
So frequently asked questions. Yes. Why do you think frequently asked questions are important? This section of FAQs, why do you think is important? To give more clarity. And also, very, very important, the main reason being you have so many number of same questions. And if there is no FAQs, people will end up calling the center, right? And when they keep calling, what happens? There should be more number of people to answer, and it becomes very, very chaotic for both, for the customer to wait and also for the organization to employ so many number of people to answer those calls. Am I right? So, which is why even if you make a call, let's say you make a call to the bank, even before you get to speak to them, they would ensure that all your queries are being settled with the robot talking to you itself. Like, what are you here for? Is it for renew this one, for a new card? If you want to check for your card, press 1. We give you a status update, right? So anyway, so frequently asked questions could be like, how do I use this? Am I going to get a refund? How many days would it take for my refund to reflect in my account? These are some basic frequently asked questions, right? Now, do you think there is a sequence that we need to arrange this FAQs, or it just goes randomly? What do you think? So the frequently asked questions would be arranged as per the process or the sequence. I mean, as per the process. So whatever process is, you go with process 1, process 2, process 3. So there is like a sequence. If I end up putting the FAQs of process 3 before process 1, then it becomes very confusing. All right. Okay, so this is something very specific that has processes. What about stuff that do not have process? How do we deal with the FAQs? Then we would put up the one that is the most frequently asked in terms of the weightage, like how many people have like the same repeated question, right, over and over again. So the most frequently asked questions would be put up before the lesser frequently asked question. Okay, Q. Perfect. I mean, in what do you use first person, second person, or third person while writing down the FAQs? What do you think? You write it in first person, second person, or third person? The FAQs. So it is written in the first person point of view. Then practical questions like, yeah, use I swear framing the question. So how do I get my refund? How long would it take for my refund to show in my account? So you see, it's all first person. So the key is you ask the questions in a manner just as the consumer or the customer would pose to them, right? So start with a question word. So you don't use like what is the process, all these are a little too lengthy. So frequently asked questions are generally for answers in 1 or 2 lines, right? So it would be like, can I get my refund? How long would it take? So that 5 to 6 business days, right? So the answers that fit in within 1 or 2 sentences or 3 sentences max, that would be a part of the frequently asked questions. Okay, so let's look at the do's and don'ts. So do's, don'ts. Only answer the frequently asked questions, correct? So if you end up putting like the whole details and just throw in all the extra information that you should know under the FAQs, that's not going to help. The FAQs should purely and strictly be about the most frequently asked questions. So the audience just brushes through and gets like a more detailed knowledge about the product or whatever doubts he or she has. Don't use your frequently page like this is what I just said. Don't use it as a extra page to just dump all the extra info. Don't repeat yourself. Okay.
Hi guys, welcome. Now we will talk about research paper. This topic is covered in a very short detail in this course because this is basically a topic of academic writing. So if you are really looking forward to learn about it, then you will have to learn academic writing separately. Let's understand about research paper. Research paper is a very common form in the academic writing. So as the name suggests, it is about researching on any particular topic. It can be on any subject. So why is it that research paper writers are required, or academic writers are required to write research papers? There are a lot of professors or people who are doing PhD. They are researching on something. They also hire academic writers a lot of time. There are a lot of agencies who hire academic writers. Those agencies are there to write research papers, and that is when they look for academic writers. So research paper requires students and academics to locate information about a topic, and then a research is conducted, and it's a deep formal research. Okay, and then you take a stand on that topic, and then you provide supporting evidence about it, the statistics, the data, and then you completely organize that report and present it um, in front. Okay, and so you begin with the introduction and you end at the conclusion, that what is the title of this report, of this research paper, and what research have you conducted. That is all that you mention. What is the outcome of your research? Basis on what evidences are you telling people that this is the outcome? Okay, and at times you also need to mention the citation from wherever you have picked up your evidence. Is the term research paper may also refer to a scholarly article that contains the result of original research as an evaluation of research conducted by others. At times, you also write research paper on the researches that are already conducted by others. Okay, that how far those researches are validated. So let's talk about how exactly and what are the elements of writing a research paper. Learning scholarly conventions. Writing a research paper is a crash course in the stylistic convention of scholarly writing. During the research and writing process, you learn how to document your research, then cite resources from wherever you have picked up your data, how to mention the citation appropriately, what is the format of an academic paper, maintaining an academic tone, and more. Okay, so tone is going to be formal if you're writing an academic. Okay, organizing information. Then you organize the information, and basically there is a very simple flow to organize the information. You begin with introduction, then after introduction paragraph, it is body can be in many paragraphs, depends on the length of the research paper, and after that the conclusion and citation. Okay, then the major part of research paper is managing time. If you need to submit the research paper very quickly, it gets very difficult. A lot of time research papers generally take 3 months time, 4 months time, and at times more than that as well, depends on the topic. So managing your time really well and figuring out till when do you need to submit it, so how much research do you need to do on this topic, that is a major job when you're writing a research paper. Explore your chosen subject. So if you're being hired as an academic writer, then you don't have a liberty to choose the subject, of course, because then you'll be given a subject on which you will research. But if you are doing PhD and all, then you would have your own chosen subject to do the research. Okay, it's a very simple outline of one of the research papers, in which, as I said, introduction, so story, quotations, something of interest, otherwise nobody will read it. Statement of problem. Why exactly did you choose this topic to research? And what is the outcome do you want to pursue? Okay, then body section extends the problem. What happened? Why should somebody be concerned about this research? Who all are affected with this? Stories, examples, facts, statistics, data, and causes, effect. You mention everything in paragraph with headings and subheadings, and later on you come to a conclusion in a paragraph or two, in which you mention what exactly did you conclude out of this research, along with the citation. From where did you pick exactly all the evidences, and from where did you complete your research, and how reliable your sources were while you were researching. Okay, so this is going to be a part of research writing. Research papers are of many type: thesis, white paper writing. This all also comes under research paper writing only. All right, so that will be it about this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hello all, welcome. Now let's understand what is thesis. Is again a part of academic writing. So all the academic writers would write thesis, especially thesis would also be written by somebody who's doing PhD. This is again a kind of a research paper in which you research about a part of literature and then you prove it to be right, to be wrong. You again mention all the facts, all the proofs. So, and then in the thesis, you give the thesis statement, okay, which is always a single sentence, and that tells that what this particular thesis is about. So, thesis statement usually appears at the end of the first paragraph of your paper. The rest of the paper, the body of the essay, gathers and organizes evidences that will persuade the reader about the argument that you're keeping in the thesis. Okay, so let's understand the things you should know and things you should avoid. So first of all, why are you writing the thesis? Okay, what is your argument from the literature? Know the qualities of a good thesis, understand the structure, language, and you can seek help as well from the people that you think would have knowledge about it, about that particular topic. You cannot plagiarize, of course, which means you cannot copy. You cannot cook up any story on your own. You cannot cook up any data on your own. You don't have to write in passive voice. You can't use the word like quiet, some, considerable, because these words are indefinite. Okay, so you always have to provide a definite data. You cannot use the abbreviation, has to be avoided until you've already explained the abbreviation somewhere in your thesis, then you can use them again. Otherwise, you cannot. Don't present a conjecture as a fact, which means any opinion should not be used as a fact. Okay, so good thesis must solve an existing problem in the society, organization, for the government, or good thesis should be contestable. It should propose a point that is arguable, which people can agree or disagree. Okay, so the topic should be against and for it. Like somebody can agree with this and disagree also. Okay, it should be specific, clear, and focused. Good thesis does not use general terms or abstract languages. That is what I was saying, that quiet, some, considerable, they are all abstract words. So you need to use concrete words. The claim of a good thesis should be definable, arguable, it anticipates the counter arguments. It does not use unclear language. You will never use in my opinion because it is not your opinion. It is a research work. So you are providing all the evidences. So it's just like another research paper. As I said, that thesis is also a kind of research paper in which you are researching. And it's just that the topic that you choose in a thesis is something that somebody can be against or somebody can be in favor of, and you decide whether you are writing in favor of or whether you are writing in against to the topic, and then you are obviously supporting that with the evidences. Okay, the thesis should be arguable, contestable, focused, specific, clear. Make your thesis clear, strong, and easy to find. Okay, so the first thing is obviously to figure out a topic. So you should have many topics in your mind, and then you will figure out of this, which topic are you going to use and which topic do you think you would find easier to have a research on. Once you have a good thesis topic, then you draw an outline. Then you mention introduction, then literature review. What is a review in the literature about this topic? Then discussion of the methodology. What methodology are you using in order to research, or when you are talking in favor or in against. Discussion of the results. What is the result? So if the result is in favor, why it is in favor? If you are against, then why are you in against? And the thesis conclusion at the end, along with recommendations, citations. Okay, literature search. As I said, literature search happens in this about the topic. Remember, to draw a good outline, you need to do literature search to familiarize yourself with the concepts and the works of others. What others have already done about this topic. Okay, so you will have to make yourself familiar with those researches. Similarly, to achieve this, you need to read as much as material. That is why thesis writing is a very lengthy job, and a lot of time people who are doing PhD, as I said, and a lot of agencies as well, they hire people or academic writers to write thesis or research papers. Okay. After getting all the information the knowledge you gathered should help in suggesting the aim of your thesis. Then you will see that at times you would see after gathering all the information whether you need to talk in favor or in against. So this is going to be the structure: the introduction, review, methodology, what are your findings, summary, conclusion, and references. From where did you find all of these references? So this is a small topic of thesis. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Guys, welcome. Now understand what is a project report. If any one of you would have been working in any organization, you would definitely know what is a project report, whether you are at a manager level or if you're working under a manager, you still know that there is always a report that gets created for a project that tells the different aspects of a project. At the beginners level, how is the project performing, what has been the outcome, what is the result, what is the budget, what has been the budget, the risk factors, the success, everything involves in a project report. So what all things a project report includes: resources that you've used so far, that is the manpower, what other departments, in a particular project, there are a lot of departments involved. So what are the resources, the manpower that you've used so far, what has been the benefit so far, how successful has been your project with these resources, how project time is being spent, so what you did, when you did, what you did, the KPIs, and KPIs means key performer indicators. So for every project, there is a key performer indicator to manage to indicate or to measure actually the success of the project. That is how you come to know if the project is getting successful or not. Okay, what has been the major expenses on the project, workload, and the team availability. These are the inclusions of the project report. What is the benefit? Creating project report gives you or your team and stakeholders the ability to track project progress. If there is no report will be created, then you would never come to know if the project is getting successful or not. The main goal of a project report is to improve decision making, to help you make sense of your project data, decide what next step has to be taken. If the project is heading behind because of anything, then you must know that what is the next step to be taken. Okay, this in turn can impact your budget, timelines, and project success. These are the kinds of report that is created about a project. It is about a status report. So what is the status of the report? So probably the most frequently used project report, it tells it offers a general overview of the current status of the project, where the project is standing. Okay, a project a status report always answer the question how likely it is that we will be completing this project within the time frame. Resource workload report. Then another report gets created. How many resources are you using? The manpower and the other resources. Okay, how much you have used, how much do you need, and how is it helping? Then portfolio report. Portfolio report takes a look at all your projects and consolidate the data into a single document. These reports take a look at high level milestones, status, variances, progresses, major highlights of your portfolio strategy. Task list and time tracking report. How much task did you finish in what amount of time, and how much time do you need more, and approximate data for that. That is task list or the time tracking report. Then comes the expenses. Then there is expenses report. How much expenses have been spent on what exactly, and how much are you expecting more. Okay, here in this URL, I have mentioned some of the samples of the project report that might help you just in case you're looking forward to create any project reports.
Now moving on to grant writing. Yeah, heard of a grant? What's a grant? To grant the permission for the funds, right? So
Mm-hmm.
grant is basically writing, it's for funding purposes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you also see in universities there would be grants
Hmm.
to
Or
fund your
NGOs.
research programs.
Yeah.
Programs. Yeah, perfect. So it is basically I'm writing a grant and I'm asking you for a good cause. It cannot be a selfish motive wherein I'm saying,
Hmm.
hey, I want to expand my business and I want you to give me 3 lakhs. That's not called a grant. It
Hmm.
should be for the benefit of the overall society at large, right? For example, I'll give you So there was this principal of the school once who was my student, and when it was like we were discussing about grant writing, then she said that it was a government school, and there not government school, I'm sorry, a private school only, and there was so much of land that was just left barren, okay, in front of her school, like a lot of land, and she wrote a grant to, I don't remember, I think the government or someone. She wrote a grant to, a grant proposal requesting for funds to cultivate, to use that land into making it productable. Like, to plant some fruits or to just go ahead and plant something to not make that land just be left barren there. And also, see, it's not a selfish motive, correct? So she's talking about the benefits, the kids, talking about the benefits for the land itself, talking about the benefits of society at large, right? So it was just like her selfish benefit, then she wouldn't have gotten a grant. So anyways, this one example. So she wrote about getting X amount of money for the process of making the land cultivatable and stuff. And then she did get the grants. I think she asked for 3 lakhs, and not bad. The government actually sanctioned 3 lakhs, and she went on to use that money for the purpose that was specified in her grant proposal. Right? Then again, you have grant proposal for, like I mentioned, you would write to a university about your research program, what it is, what's the scope, how is it going to benefit the overall society at large, all of this. And if they find and they seem that yes, this is convincing, they would give you the grants, right? So in a nutshell, this is what grant writing is. What style of writing would we use, you think, for grant? You need to persuade the reader that yes, this is really going to benefit the organization, I mean, benefit the audience at large and stuff like that. And you need to convince me that yes, good enough, I'm going to go ahead and grant it to them, right? Okay, so grant writing is writing proposals for funding the research program or any event from government, corporates, or trusts. So define the project and its location. What is the need of the project? Who are the beneficiaries of the project? Elaborate and scope. So define the project and the location. Let me give you another example. So let's say there is a school, and there are about, let's say, 20 students who are finding it difficult to cope. Maybe it is because of the style of learning. Maybe it's just that they are slow learners, okay? And they need to be dealt with a little differently. And maybe, let's say, yeah, so special needs, maybe special needs kids, and we need to devise a different program for them in order to help them grasp the content or grasp the syllabus and stuff. So you write a grant proposal, and you are going to be asking for funds to come up with some special program for the special needs kids, because they ought to be taught in a different manner. Okay. So define the project and its location. So where is it going to be taking place? Is it going to be taking place in the school itself? Or where is it going to be taking place? That is number one. And define. So let's say it's going to be taking place in school, and what exactly? So maybe you are saying we would have like a program for the kids, for the special needs kids, which would be organized to deal with them in a different manner, to help them, or to not to help them cope with the syllabus, or to give them some insights, or to basically deal with them in a different manner, right? So what exactly you're going to be doing, that you have to give like a quick definition of the project. What is the need? The need is, yes, these 20 kids that I'm talking about, they are special needs, and we just cannot expect them to learn through the normal classes. We have to give them some special attention, and which is why it is imperative for us to conduct this program. Who are the beneficiaries? Meaning, who's going to benefit out of this program? So obviously it is these 20 kids that would benefit out of the program. elaborate the process. So it should not be a selfish motive, like I said. So if I'm asking you for 3 lakh, I also need to tell you how exactly I'm going to be using the 3 lakh. Let's say 50,000 for a project, 20, maybe 70,000. I'm just giving a rough thing, okay? 70,000 maybe for the extra sheets and material and all of that for the special needs kids, right? And then remaining maybe to hire some freelancers who are explicitly familiar in dealing or handling with the special needs kids, right? So this is how I'm going to be using the 3 lakhs. And last of all, what is the scope and outcome of the project is what I need to mention. Got that clear? So whatever grant you're going to be writing, you have to think of how is it going to benefit the society. This is the most important part. So when I give you a teamwork time, so it would be more like identifying which gap needs to be filled and how are you going to be useful to a large audience or to a community and stuff. And then you need to jot down your points. Is it cool? See here, the sample is basically you just have to check out this link here. There are different templates that you could use. Or let me just show you something else. Mm, sorry, where did it go? Yeah, let's just say it used to be free. What happened to it now? Okay, wait, let me just look up for some sample. Okay, so this is a template. It basically tells you what to do in what paragraph. Okay, so here if you see, this is what a template looks like. First, the proposal summary. The proposal summary should be about one paragraph of 1 to 3 sentences and should include the amount of funding requested and give them the most general description of the use that would be made for the funds. Okay. The next is you go with a quick organization history about your organization that you're, what organization, and just give them a background about it. Then the most important part would be the project description and then the budget and the timeline. Okay, so the project description would be so you give an organization background about the organization that you're writing from. Then you can ditch the background part. It should basically be give insights about your organization. And in this same part itself, the background also would any which ways come. Here they're saying 2 to 5 pages and all of that. No, a grant can also be just 1 page, wherein you're quickly giving me insights about your organization, the funds, and the purpose. Next is the project description. So if it is for the same example that I gave you about the school, right? So you're going to be describing the thing. So here we have special needs kids, about 20 special needs children, and we need to deal with them differently. So which is why we are going to be organizing different after school programs and stuff. So we need 3 lakhs or whatever. Or if it is that you are going to be, you are a well-established school, but then still after the school, you want to open up the school free for the underprivileged kids. So this is also a benefit to the society, correct? And for this, you're looking for funds in order to hire the teachers. All the other facilities are there, but maybe just to pay the teachers extra, to hire some different teachers to take care of the after school program and specifically deal with the underprivileged kids. So you want some extra staff and extra supplies, maybe like maybe some free books or free essentials or some snacks that you would be offering the underprivileged kids. So for this, maybe you are writing a grant. So basically here you would write the description of the project. Then the timeline. So you don't have to go as detailed. You just have to say, you just can directly go to the budget. So this 3 lakhs, how are you going to be using it? So 1 lakh maybe to pay the teachers and the staff for the whole year. And they are also going to be charging very minimal because it is for the underprivileged kids. right? So maybe let's say you want 2 lakhs for the teachers, right? Then it would be this is maybe for a year that you're writing the grant, okay? And then for some additional supplies, whatever, 50K. Then again, how are you going to be using the rest of the 50K? Or maybe 20K for so and so, 10K for so and so, 5K for so and so. Okay, so in these ways, you need to uh, put up your pitch. Is that clear now?
Okay, now going ahead with proposal writing. So now what is a proposal? A proposal could be, any proposal that you are making. It could be a business to business proposal, or it could be from within an organization, a proposal, right? So basically it is to seek permission. That is your proposal. So your proposal again has to be very effective. It has to state the purpose. It has to stick to, whether it includes a budget, what the budget is like, or if it doesn't include budget, it just kind of, seeks permission. So everything has to be clearly stated, and, all of the important points need to be mentioned in the proposal. So let's look at. So what is a proposal? In simple language, proposal is a marketing tool designed to go ahead and sell goods, services, or some idea, right? So that's your proposal. So steps carried out are majorly into solving any problem. So you need to gather required documentation, whether it's for a school or an organization, the need, the project, the requirement, the process, and all of that. So it's basically an offer or a bid to do a certain project for someone. So a proposal is to bring in business, then a valuable tool for initiating projects. Obviously, you'll be competing with others to win the bid. You need to go ahead and, win bids based on how your proposal is drafted. So you need to convince the reader to say yes to the quality of what you offer, fill a need, create a desire for the product, solve the problem. Yes, so create a desire for the product. A proposal would be you are writing in B2B. So why company A has to choose you over your counterparts? What's in your product for them to go ahead and accept your quotation and accept your proposal and all of that. So it's like a tool to bring in business for you and for your company. Make sure it works really well. So say for example you are approaching different companies for your editing services, all right? So you need to write a proposal in a manner that your editing services are impeccable, and you are having a lots of experienced editors, and which is why we need to go ahead and choose you. And all of these factors need to be included. Or yeah, when it is with regards to solving a problem, maybe within an organization there is a problem in the HR department, like they do not have enough good softwares to try and understand the people, the maybe just to number of people attending the interviews in the past 6 months should not be attending it again. If they failed an interview, say if they failed an interview, they should not be attending it in the next 3 or 6 months, right? So like a software that they could keep a track of this, so it makes their work easier, and all of that needs to be incorporated. So the HR department writes to the higher authorities that they are seeking to increase the productivity and so and so and so and so by incorporating this software. Okay, just let me give you another example. Now in the academic field and all of that, there are a lot of time is being spent by the academicians and the professors and the lecturers for them to go ahead and review and understand the thesis, the dissertation, whether it is plagiarized or no, and all of these different tasks that they have to manage, right? So there, the academicians may want to write a proposal to the higher authority in order to go ahead and buy the software that would help and ease their work. So it would be like buy software ABC. So if you buy software ABC, that would help us go ahead in simplifying the plagiarism checking and in simplifying the thesis, the dissertation, and having a look around this entire thing. So that would be one part of it. So to go ahead and try and understand the need, the solution, work around the solution, and seek permission accordingly and in accordance. So that is the main thing. So here you need to know the audience, know the purpose, understand the requirements, understand the competition, how to persuade the reader, research as it is critical to differentiate and make it comprehensive. Yes, so determine the purpose. You need to go ahead and propose a solution to a problem. The problem can be identified either by the client or by the proposal writer. So your proposal should offer the solution you want your audience to adopt, right? So you have a solution in mind. So it has to be with style. Do you think it should be in the very persuasive style? So you are persuading them to agree with you. You are persuading them to accept your proposal, right? So it has to be very persuasive. Yeah, so it should include the expected results, the evaluation, the estimated cost, then the project narratives. Maybe you need to go ahead and describe the beneficiaries and who would be the main beneficiaries of this, what would be the outcome, and all of these. These are, pretty much working out a well proposed plan for your proposal. So components of a proposal. So front matter will have the cover, the title, the letter of transmittal, then a table of contents, the abstract, etc. Then you have your introduction, the overview of the approach, the statement of the problem. Overviews like, just overall understanding very briefly or what the whole topic is about. So that is your overview. Statement of the problem. Yes, the statement, what is the main problem? Why are you facing the problem? What is the scope and what is the statement of the organization? Introduction of the organization, or if it is within an organization, introduction of the team. So all that goes in the introduction. And the body, here you go, the statement of the work, the plan, the cost incurred, the expenditure, and a statement of overall everything. And then in the back matter, what goes is the resumes and the appendices. Now why do you think the resumes? So in an organization, it is important to know who is writing the proposal, or what is the level of hierarchy, who is writing it, what is the credibility he has in an organization, or when you're writing B2B. So all of these are components of a proposal. And this really works out to have a well proposed proposal plan by making it very persuasive, sending across your purpose very effectively, and making sure you kind of have realistic outputs, right? So you need to go ahead and make given realistic output so that it kind of adds value. So steps to write a proposal. Planning your proposal, you define the audience, define the issue, define the solution, keep the elements of style in mind, then make an outline, writing your own proposal, start with a firm introduction, the statement of problem, propose solutions, include a schedule and budget, wrap up a conclusion, edit your work. And towards the end, after you do an editing and everything, and then again you want to proofread it to make sure everything is well in order, that you haven't missed out on any points and all of that. Right, so we can just look at this, how to write a proposal. Yeah, so how to write a proposal. Writing a good proposal is a critical skill in many occupations. So yes, you may want to go ahead and write and use this also in terms of preparing your portfolio, like sample proposals. Let's just pick up a sample proposal, explore this article, right? So just let's look at some samples here. Cost saving or a sample proposal for process improvement. Let's just pick up this. Like I told you, if you are seeking to write a proposal, make sure you pick up samples that are relevant to your field. Propose solution. Okay, so purchase a new phone routing system that would allow these capabilities. Program and testing routing system. Convert incidents so and so combination of letters and communicate the new workflow benefits. So telling, if at all we happen to include so and so the new one, the proposal, then what would be the benefits and what would be the potential obstacle. So the new process would eliminate the need for assistants to answer customer calls, freeing them up for other tasks. Each assistant typically answers, giving numerical numbers and values. All of this actually holds a lot of weightage. It shows that you have done your research well and you are good to go with the way you are presenting the data and stuff. It all looks very genuine. So make sure you read samples from the field that you want to go ahead and start writing a proposal on. So make sure you have done your research. You have kind of you can also download templates, template for proposal writing. You can simply download templates, and then what you can do is you can go ahead and start writing and drafting your proposal.
Okay, so any idea what's a white paper? So white paper is more like a research paper, all right? So it is basically an organization there is an existing problem in the industry. Cool. So when there is an existing problem in the industry, an organization would take up an initiative to do some research pertaining to that particular problem, identify what solutions could be best, write down those solutions and present it so that the entire industry would benefit. Now, why they would also do this is basically for them to get attention of the target audience, and also sometimes it is more like creating a buzz, and it's more like more like getting attention from the audience and stuff. So it is actually more like, yes, an advantage that I could take out of the market, but also I'm not going to sound salesy in any manner. So this is the main objective of a white paper. So the white paper, even during the launch of what is that? Geo. Okay, in India, during the launch of Geo, even they had come up with a white paper. They came up with a white paper targeting the target audience, basically. So it's more like why Airtel and Vodafone and what are the other brands, Docomo and stuff. It's more like why they have been overcharging. We are here new to the market and see how we are going to make life easy for you. So if you read that white paper, it's like you can find it actually on the internet. I don't have to. You can just go to the internet and you can search for white papers in any industry or any field. You'd be able to get it because they also publish it on their website. Okay, anyways. So yeah, so that's what Geo did. They targeted the target audience more like, hey, this is a problem, and then we are here for you as a solution. So it was that kind of a motive. But anyways, Geo came up exactly the time of demonetization, if you all remember. So that bit I don't want to get into. But yeah, so white paper is more like, here's a problem. I'm here with my research, my solutions, and this is what I'm presenting to you. Okay, so let's see. So white paper is an explanatory document that describes a particular problem and its solution. So again, for that matter, let us say a hypermarket industry. So they have a problem because they are unable to retain the employees. Okay. So they give them good amount of training and all of that, but then ultimately they see that, yeah, it's very difficult for them to actually retain them. So they spend a lot of money into training the staff and employees and stuff. And ultimately they say that, yeah, it's not working out because they're leaving, and then all the training that they've spent on is just for a waste and all of that. So this is what it is. So they come up with a, let's say, SPAR hypermarket. So they say, okay, this is a major issue in the industry. So let us do some research and come up with solutions for it. So then they delve into research. They maybe interview the employees. They ask them what's happening. Why are you guys leaving after so much of training and stuff? Then they get different answers. More like, we're not having growth, or it's more like we do not have we don't have growth, or we do not have what do you say? Mm, maybe opportunities to learn something new. We do not have like uh, rotational shifts, something like that. Okay. So they identify that all these are the problems, and then they come up with solutions. So they come up with solutions more like, yes, they should be it becomes very monotonous if the same employees are stuck in the same roles for the longest period of their lives. So we need to like shift them over week after week so that they are getting something new to learn as well. So today, if you're in this week, you're in customer service, next week you're into billing, and then you're into handling. So that way people are more motivated, and that way, because it's something new for them, they kind of tend to increase the productivity. So these could be the possible solutions after they've delved into the research, and this is what they're presenting as a part of the white paper. Clear? So again, this has a structure. So the problem, proof of the proof that the problem exists, additional problems, basic solution, and finally your solution. So yeah, so you give them, you present the problem first, and then you see how to tackle the problem, and whatever solutions you think would be apt to fix that gap or to solve that particular problem. You go ahead, do all the research, and then you give them the solution. So this is the structure. You have the title. What is the like the title, like how you have titles, headlines, correct? So that you obviously would have a title. Then the executive summary. Executive summary is more like the entire project, or the entire, see, a good white paper is anywhere between 1 to 4 pages. Okay. Now, when you're presenting the white paper, people might not have the entire they might not have the time to read the entire 4 pages. So you need to quickly give them a glimpse of what it is in one paragraph. So the summary of the problem, your methodologies, and your solutions ought to be presented in this one paragraph, and this is known as your executive summary. Then your outline. Outline you can ditch actually, because if you have executive summary, no need, you can directly go to your introduction. So the introduction, now slowly you are talking about the problem, you're introducing your framework, meaning how have you gone about to collect this information and present it. For example, interviewing customers, or for example, you've used some online data analytical tools, right? Primary sources, secondary sources, you've done some polls, you've done some questionnaires, right? So how did you, what was your method used to get this information? Then your problem, your solution, conclusion, and finally citation. So the citation is more like giving sources of information. Okay, so style guide for white papers. This is the style guide, but it's not necessarily that this is the only style guide that you use, but it depends on every organization's style guide. But yeah, for like the basic thing, this one would be there, like your font size, and this is what it is, 22 and 18. Insert hyperlinks where required. Font style, consistent color, company, logo. Consistent color is also important because it's about branding. So this Henry Harvin, you see it is purple and white, correct? So this is their standard color. So across all their presentations and across the courses, they would have this very color. Tips for white paper is different from a sales pitch, right? You're not really selling, although your main intention is to get the attention of your audience, maybe, right? but you're not going to sound salesy in any manner. It has to be filled and packed with a lot of data and stats and facts and figures because it's a research paper ultimately. Use it with pie charts, specifically describe problems and all of that. So yeah, so here are some links to access these white papers for your references or samples, correct? Clear? That's it.
Moving on to medical writing. Now, in medical writing, we have, different types of medical writing that goes into writing. Yeah, so we have medical writing now. And medical writing, like I said, there are different types of medical writing. Now, here basically in medical writing, what does a medical writer do? So they are into, they write specific documents of different types that kind of include regulatory and a lot of research related documents. So it could be, research on the disease or drug education, or it could be promotional literature researching, findings. It could be content for healthcare websites, magazines, or news, and all of that, right? So even I was a part of medical writing, although I'm not from a medical background. But how it works is like, we now, it is not majorly into medical stuff. It was something like, benefits for your skin, or tips for your skincare, or like, benefits of flaxseed oil. So benefits of flaxseed oil, then the thing was, we couldn't just give out our own opinions. We had to go ahead and review many other websites by prescribed doctors and genuine doctors who, have really done their research and given information. So we need to refer to 3 different websites by these renowned doctors, taken their information, rephrase, put it across to the audience in our own way of writing, in our own way of writing. Yes, and towards the end, making sure we include a disclaimer that all of these information collected from so and so sources, and we are not responsible for any information directly being put out by us. We are not responsible if there are any adverse effects, and so on and so forth. So that kind of a disclaimer was given. There is one part of it. So here medical writing is, yes, writing new development, medical sciences, diseases to cure, for medical research documents, medical journals, articles for medical related magazines, and the like. So yes, target specific jargon. The jargon should differ from target like patients, academicians, researchers, and scientists. Now, when you are talking to your patients, not every patient is going to be from the medical industry. So the patients are mostly, the layman who doesn't really understand any of the medical terminologies, and any kind of medical terminology is not going to, help him to understand what his disease is, or what the cure is, and all of that. So you should make sure, when you are into medical writing, when you are reaching out to your patients, do not use these highly sophisticated medical jargons. Just try and simplify it. But when you are using it to academicians and researchers and scientists, yes, they are in the same field, and when you're talking about those jargons, they are in the same line, so those jargons are not jargons to them. Yeah, a lot of data and reports have to be included. Always add data and reports from credible research centers and institutions. That kind of adds a lot of value to your content. Then always use updated information when you are into writing, medical especially. Make sure that it is not the old information, because you would never want to use any stale information. Whatever information and whatever input you are giving your audience, it has to be of the latest. News infographics and diagrams, yes, because you need to explain the anatomy to your audience, or to the patients, or basically anyone for that matter. When your research, a lot of diagrams and a lot of different explaining procedures ought to be included. So key points: make right use of medical terminologies, always maintain a neutral tone, do not write in creative or flowery language. Of course, you cannot write in a very creative manner when it comes down to creative writing. When it comes down to medical, you cannot have creativity here. Then if you're writing for patients, then make sure you do not scare them about the disease or treatment. You need to kind of be very neutral in the way you bring out the in the way you are explaining stuff to them. If you're presenting the research document, then always use reliable resources and make sure that you go ahead and cite them aptly. And these are some of the links to your medical samples. So yes, check some of these samples. Now, if at all, we have to just quickly open up one and just look at a sample here. Yeah, so you can see here, this is some, you get like, a lot of different cases, anatomy, and all of this, that you could be exposed to various different understandings on the medical level. You can see the different types of trending stuff written on the medical topics. Here you have different advisory boards, so all this is all too medical. So if you can just pull up and get ideas, so if anyone is already in from the medical field, this will probably be good website for them to go ahead and yes, utilize this. Pill identifier, calculators, anatomy, and all of this. So reference Medscape. Then here are some journal samples and all of that. Okay, there's a problem with this. And let's just look at this. Writing on health. It's a free website. We can look at it, .wordpress.com, right? Because it's just not .com, it has this WordPress thingy. So this is the free website that they are managing and maintaining. So yes, so all of this information which may be useful to you.